Okay, before we start, I just wanted to apologize for not uploading in a little over 2 months. Basically, I just got really busy with work. It got to the point where I had probably 30 minutes before or after work to work on the car, probably an hour on the weekends. So I was still recording, but definitely didn't have time to upload, render, and edit the videos. I have a little bit more time now, so I'm actually gonna start editing again. This video I actually edited completely through, and then the file corrupted, so I got pretty upset about that. I uploaded to Facebook, and it got shared by a few pages, and it got a good amount of shares, and some of you guys recognized it and started messaging me about, what's up, where are the videos at. So I feel really bad about that. I kind of left you guys hanging, but I'm gonna jump back out. Alright, sorry it's dark and there's a lot of noise in the background, but I'm about to go drop off the pretty much everything to build the engine. So I got the block, the crank, the head. I'm not sure if you could see in there, but I have the head gasket, the fuel pump, the oil pump, the camshafts in there, some old engine junk just in case they need to reuse anything, the rods, the pistons with Seco, ARP studs. Yeah, I'm about to take it over right now. So I took all the pieces to the engine builder, and I didn't really want to bother him, so I didn't get any footage of the engine being assembled. But if you close your eyes and imagine a piston going into a block, it looks something like that, I'm pretty sure. I'm about to start cleaning the intake manifold. It's pretty dirty, but it was a lot worse. So just how it's all gunky in here, that's how the rest of the manifold was. So I already started wiping it down when I first took the engine apart. But right now I'm going to detail it with some simple green and wire brushes. Yes, I'm not going to upgrade it to like a huge intake manifold with a big throttle body because I couldn't find one that bolts on. I know people say they're interchangeable for F23, H22, this and that, but all of that comes with modifications, and then it's not that much gains. This little port that's taped off, that's where the EGR plate goes, which is the big bar. So I'm going to delete that. I'm probably going to tap and screw in some plugs. That's going to be blocked off by this blocks billet plate, and the bottom of it still looks like the rest of the manifold looked before. So it's grease that's caked in there pretty hard. So just get some simple green, spray it on, wire brush, scrub it, clean rag, wipe it. Just rinse and repeat and keep going, do the whole thing. By the way, this is simple green. I diluted it into this spray bottle, half water, half simple green, and it works like a miracle. I was pretty desperate to go pick up the motor, and as you can see, nothing was really gonna stop me. So I did what I had to do. Well, goddamn, I'm stuck. I've been using this ratcheting thing to lift the engine and put it into the engine mount, but it just won't go in. Okay, now I'm gonna use this strap to make sure that stays there while I get in there and push the engine out. If I drop it, then I'm done. Hey, it worked. It actually worked. Got him. It's in. Alright, my baby is home. And I'm not playing around. I'm gonna protect it. Okay, it's tuned. Got it all wrapped up. Trash bag over the head. No valve cover. The valve cover is powder coated. It's too nice to have out here. And then out with that junker. pretty soon. Okay, I have the engine all wrapped up right here, ready to go in. Well, almost ready. It needs like a thermostat house, little things. It needs little things. And I gotta install the oil pan baffles. Okay, so the main things to do to prep the engine to drop it in is put the timing cover on it, which is these brand new timing covers, and then the coolant tube. I don't know what you call it. That little metal pipe right there. Put that back on. It goes in here to the thermostat housing. Alright, and before I put the timing cover on, I gotta get this motor mount and transfer it to the other block. Okay, got it off. Ah! Okay, it's time to put the timing cover on. Alright, got the motor upside down. I'm just gonna install the baffles. Okay, got the oil pan off. My engine builder actually left this piece of cardboard holding in the gasket so I don't lose it. Ready for the oil pickup. You can actually see my rods in there. Pistons. I already took it inside, cleaned it up really good. No dust, no dirt. I'm just gonna get the studs and put them in one by one all around. Oil pan back on temporarily because I still have to see where I'm going to put the oil return. Okay, I had forgotten the oil pickup, but it's on there now. Okay, right now I just put the turbo and the manifold on so I could see where I'm going to drill a hole in the oil pan. And it's hard to tell because I only have this, which doesn't bolt onto it. So it would go through there. And it's the wrong bolt pattern. Because this isn't the same size as those two holes right there. But just from roughly mocking it up, mocking it up like that, I can already tell that I'm going to need a 90 degree, so I still have to order that. And then I'm going to order the top fitting. Okay, I just went to my local speed shop to order the 90 degree that I'm going to need. And when it comes to oil feed or oil return, I don't want to mess around, so I get like name brand, like either Vibrant or XRP. None of that China return like I'm doing on the... And I got more of that high temperature 10 AN hose, because this one, it's like not melted, but it's kind of in that shape permanently. That's how it was on the old Accord. So I just got a fresh piece. The T3 gasket and the G230 fitting for the turbo, because the old one I had, which is that one, was too wide. And if you're wondering why I had the turbo, it's because I took it to make sure everything fits on it, so I don't have to drive back and forth or make any returns. Okay, so what I did here is, instead of using this straight piece coming straight off the turbo, I put the 45 I was using at the bottom, so now it's up there. And the reason I want it to point at the block sooner is because
if you could see, these two runners are wider up there, and they get really close down here. And obviously you want the line to be away from the heat as much as possible, so it goes in between the big opening and then comes straight down. And then down here it's gonna 90 degree into the block, into the pan, sorry. Just like that. And honestly, it's still a little bit too long because you want it as high above the oil level as possible so that the oil falls out, as opposed to being stuck into a pool of oil, because then that would put pressure in your seals and then, you know, it would blow up. Now that I determined where I'm going to put the oil return, I just held it up against the pan. Well, it's down here. Held it up against the pan and I scratched it because I couldn't find my Sharpie and I'm not going to look for it. But yeah, so I just dropped the pan. I'm going to drill a hole through it, clean off the paint, and weld this fitting onto it. Okay, you got the little pilot hole drilled out. A little bit bigger and bigger. I accidentally went one size too big, at least for the inner lip. As you can see, it's supposed to fit perfect, but it's wiggly in there. But the outside doesn't go through, so you're not going to be able to tell. Now I'm just going to clean it up with this wire. Okay, got it down to bare metal where I'm going to weld it on both sides. Now I'm just going to clean it up with acetone and weld it up. Okay, there you go, it's welded up. And it looks funny because I hit it with the wire wheel to take off all the slag, but it's nice. And there it is, welded up. I'm not going to screw it in right now because the oil pan bolts aren't even in. I still got to double check everything inside right before I drop the engine. But for now, that's how it's going to sit. Now I'm going to do the intake manifold. Okay, the manifold is clean for the most part. And my brother also drilled out and tapped all the holes that have to do with the exhaust gas recirculation. And then I'll have the plate to delete this part of the EGR. And it's pretty much ready to bolt on. And then just put the top, the upper plenum, and then the thermostat housing, and we're solid. Okay, got the intake manifold on. Now I'm gonna put the, I guess, coolant crossover pipe. I don't know what you call it. Dipstick tube up next with a OEM O-ring. I'm about to put on the Golden Eagle sandwich plate right there and replace that old one, and the EGR block off plate. Getting ready to drop it in. My boy helping me out. Hey, that smile.
Delete that shit. No, restart.
Restart what? We're live. Anyway, we're about to put it in really quick and then start plumbing it up. At this point, it was getting pretty late and we were all tired. Even my girlfriend came out to help. But I just put the phone down and I stopped recording and just got it over with. Alright. We put the motor in last night, and now we're just going to put in the transmission with the ARP hardware, the Stage 4 competition clutch, and the OEM flywheel. Okay, you got to clean up the flywheel first and then pop it in there. The flywheel's being held in there by one bolt while we put the ARP lube on the other ones. And then
Ah, I took out the tool already. Now the clutch. Alright, about to put on the pressure plate. Alright, the clutch is all bolted up. My brother just put the shift fork. We have the throwout bearing right here and the slave cylinder. Okay, transmission is on. Alright, now that the motor and transmission are in, I'm going to start fabbing up the intake. So what I did is I put the power steering and some hose. I just bent it to like the biggest bend I can have without kinking it, like that. So it starts kinking if I go a little bit further. So probably about there is the furthest I can get it out of the way of the intake. And then I'm going to put this U and the 4-inch intake to see what I'm going to have to hack up to make it fit. We'll see. So just like in my previous video, I said the filter was going to go right here. And there is plenty of space now that the power steering is relocated down there under the pliers. So we'll see. And I'm done. I'm just going to cut a hole in the hood. And it's going to be a reverse M rear intake. Here's a rough idea of how it's going to look. I'm just not sure if I should cut it right here at a 90 degree or go past it a little bit, because if I cut down here the filter is going to sit too far out, but if I cut here the filter is going to be at this angle and it might hit right here. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I already cut down about an inch off the inside of this pipe so it could sit a little further in because it was hitting here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut past 90 degrees. It's probably like up here, and then I'm going to trim off slowly until the filter comes into the perfect angle I want. Because again, you can't put back, well, at least not without welding. Okay, I got it all cut up. Goes in nice. It's almost touching down here, but it's not. You can't see it from there, but there's a gap right there. Okay, filter on first. So I have the adapter because the filter, they only sold it in 4.5 and 4-inch inlet on the turbo. Unfortunately, this good looking coupler's gotta go. There you go, got it on. I'm gonna put it on here. And it looks like it's gonna be a little too long. Actually, no, it's going in. And we're golden. No, not really, because it's almost touching there. So when the engine moves, it's gonna hit. I'll see what I can do about that, because I really don't want to cut it because I already painted it. So after looking at it a little bit further, I don't know if you can see right there where I left my fingerprint. Drew a little line. So down through here is how far the filter slides in. So if I cut this extra chunk right here, I can probably slide the filter either a little bit more in and then angle it further down so that it clears this a little bit more and all this extra stuff doesn't get in the way of the incoming air. So I figured out that's how I want it. That's pretty much going to be the final form. And I hope this is enough for the engine movement, and if it's not, I can always move the filter a little bit closer back. And the only reason the power steering is so close to it is because I maxed it out. As you can see, it can move down and away right here. It slides up and down for the belt tension. So I just maxed it out to be on the safe side. But I'm gonna go buy a belt right now, and hopefully the belt shortens it and it sits a little bit further down and gives the intake a little bit more clearance. But that's a little view of what it is.